I don't give a f about motorcycles. Let me explain. In 2017, I bought a Yamaha R1M. It was the same year I bought my first house, and the same year I decided I'm gonna take on YouTube. Now, before that bike, I actually owned a 2015 R1, and my first bike was a 2006 Yamaha R6. You can definitely say I was a Yamaha fanboy, but it took me about 2 years to admit that the Yamaha R1 just didn't fit me that well. So, I got rid of that bike and bought Panigale. The 1299S was a bike that I actually enjoyed as well. It checked off all the right boxes for me, including creating exciting content for Adobo Moto. When I sold that bike and picked up the Panigale V4S, that moment was very special to me. My son and I were at the Seattle reveal for the Panigale V4S, and they let him be the first one to sit on it. And he asked me, "Are you gonna buy this bike?" I said, "I can't afford it right now, but one day I will." And about a year later, I ended up on the Panigale V4S. Part of the reason I bought the V4S was to prove to my son that if you worked hard enough, you can get anything you want in life. And I also loved that bike. A couple of years of owning that bike, I sold it. And then, like any good clout chaser, I picked up the BMW S1000RR M package. And that was the year that I actually quit riding motorcycles because it was fun. And it wasn't because the BMW was a shitty bike. In fact, it was a pretty decent motorcycle. I think everybody that's ever reviewed the S1000RR would tell you that it's a pretty good motorcycle. If you're looking for something that can do everything, pretty good. Kind of like a cup of instant ramen. It's not like the best ramen you'll have, but it's pretty good at filling you up in a pinch. And if you're not looking for the best tasting ramen, and you'd rather have this than a bowl of top ramen, then you buy the S1000RR. So there's a guy I follow, his name is Simon Sinek. He has a quote that resonates with me. He says something like, "Nobody gets a Suzuki tattoo, but people who don't even own a Harley get Harley tattoos." He says what Harley Davidson does well is their brand. People who own a Harley Davidson are trying to make a statement. They're letting the world know who they are. And I'm not trying to get too philosophical with this shit, man. What I'm trying to say is the same thing a few others are trying to say. As great as the BMW S1000RR is, that bike has no soul.
I'll reiterate again for your BMW fanboys. The BMW S1000RR is a great motorcycle. It does everything you want it to do, and it has heated grips. You're probably thinking, how could I possibly hate that motorcycle? Well, the S1000RR is the reason I stopped riding motorcycles. When I bought that bike, I'll be honest, I bought it for YouTube. I bought it for Clout. It wasn't a bike that I've always wanted. In fact, when it first came out, I thought it was the ugliest bike I've ever seen. It wasn't until I owned one and I saw it in person that I was like, okay, it looks pretty dope. It's got like a dolphin nose kind of thing going on. And what's crazy is after I did all the things that I wanted to do to it, right? Full exhaust. I got the damn Bren tune that everybody told me to get. I even took it to a track day. But the thing that was missing for me, mostly, was the sound and character. The BMW just lacks character. It wasn't like the first one with the weird looking headlights, and even the second generation with the weird looking headlights. This BMW just became this perfect motorcycle that every YouTuber had to have and had to create content on. And for me anyway, it just felt so fake to own that motorcycle. Like, I did not have any love for that bike. Did I like that bike? Yeah, but you guys know what I mean. You guys that have been riding for a long time or even just started riding, there's a certain kind of love that somebody has for the motorcycle. And I didn't experience that with the BMW. And you know, that's the reason I actually didn't ride that bike that much. It turned me off for like 11 months. I even considered quitting because I was like, you know what? This is just not fun anymore. And I think that's what the BMW S1000RR lacks. For me anyway, it's the fun factor. It crosses off everything else off the checklist, right? You got the carbon fiber wheels, you got pretty good suspension, all the power that you could want. But to me, the sound and character was the key ingredient that was missing from the whole package. Maybe that's why it was called the M package. M for missing. If you haven't heard the story yet of why I got the Aprilia RS V4, there's a motorcycle that I've talked about in previous videos. It's the Norton V4 RR. That motorcycle is a true dream bike to me, but Now they don't make them, and honestly those first iterations weren't exactly the most reliable. In fact, they found like hundreds of issues with that production motorcycle. They're back now, but I still can't get it in the US, and honestly the new one just doesn't appeal to me as much as the first one. Maybe because the new one is a completely different bike and it's not really the Norton RR. Anyway, the Norton that competed in the TT actually used this motor, the 1000cc version from the RSV4, but it is the same 65 degree V4. Now, besides the motor in the RSV4, this bike has a lot of history. In fact, the original owner of Aprilia had no hand in making the RSV4. I made a little history video, and I'll link it right here, but essentially, Aprilia, just like Ducati, Suzuki, Yamaha, they all have a rich history with racing, at least in World Superbike. I don't know if BMW actually races anywhere else, maybe like they do like dirt racing or endurance racing, but I know World Superbike, BMW just started. There's just a lot of nostalgia with the brand Aprilia, just like all those other brands. And just because we don't get the brand's names tatted on our ass cheeks like Harley owners do, doesn't mean the bikes we buy don't speak to us. These motorcycles are very special to all of us. It tells the world who you are, it tells the world a little bit about you. You could just tell a lot by somebody based on the bike that they ride. And when I was riding the BMW S1000RR, I'm not gonna lie to you, I felt fake and I felt like a clout chaser, and it just wasn't me. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Adobo Moto brand started growing when I started being real. It's true. In the beginning it was fun. I was cracking jokes with my homies, going all the bike nights, it was dope. And when I got that BMW, it just became so weird. I was shooting like a crap ton of slow-mo B-roll with transitions, and I was even moto vlogging in 24 frames per second with a freaking ND filter. Like who the fuck am I? Fucking Motonocity? And I'm not saying the technical side of filmmaking is bad. I'm just saying, like, if your story is not there, or if you're not genuine, it comes out through your work. And that's kind of what I experienced. I even almost quit YouTube because of the BMW. It was weird, man. It was just the strangest motorcycle I've ever owned, and that's the reason I hate, that's like the bike that I hate the most that I owned. Sound like a little and I never did appreciation stops with the BMW. I did them with this though. Oh my god, bro. If the bike that you have doesn't make you turn around or just stare at it for a little bit when you're out riding, you're on the wrong damn bike, man. Whew. What's going on over here? Golly. This thing is really cool, man. I'm glad I bought that, dude. This thing sets it off. My first RSV4 actually had that. And I had this same exact pipe. Yeah, she's a beauty. Oh yeah, look at that. Man, what a beautiful motorcycle. Oh yeah, look at this thing. This guy looking at me. Was this the thumbnail maybe? Damn, look at that, bro. Appreciation stop right in the middle of the street. What a beauty. Alright, let's get inside. Get some coffee. Thank you guys so much for coffee. If you never had hot Vietnamese coffee, true, it'll change your life. I can't believe I almost quit riding because a motorcycle wasn't that fun. Oh man. The BMW just was not fun for me. I love the R1M. It was a great motorcycle. Love the sound. Love the torque. Just didn't fit my body type well. That bike's not for short people. Both Panigales were amazing. The 1299S. Woo. Love that bike. Love the sound. The V4S. It was like a more refined 1299S. Essentially the same style or the same type of geometry. And then the BMW. It was just very, very bland. I call it the German Gixxer all the time. Oh, what the hell? Espresso and sandwiches. Huh, I'm gonna check that place out next time. This is the part of the episode where I ask you, what does your motorcycle say about you? What do you ride? And what is it that you want people to know based on what motorcycle you ride? It sounds corny, but it's true, man. The type of people who ride the RSV4 are the type of people who don't give a about comfort. They don't care too much about styling. Save me the gimmicks. Give us a bike that performs. Give me a bike that I can take to the track, and if I feel like going to the coffee shop to get coffee, I will. And I don't care what anybody else thinks. We don't care that people call our bikes unreliable, because we have no problem working on our own bikes. This next one, I'm not sure if it just applies to me, but I really don't give a shit about scratches. I made a video where I was washing my chain and I used like Dawn dish soap, and people thought I used Dawn dish soap to wash my bike, which I have in the past. It's not a big deal to me, but there were some people that freaked out. Don't use Dawn dish soap on your paint. My God, dude. Don't use brake cleaner on your chain, the O-rings. There's people in other countries that have motorcycles, and they're using whatever to clean their chains, alright? And they're making these things last, like, for decades. When did motorcyclists become such babies, dude? That's my question. And I blame the S1000RR for that. Those weird S1000RR street owners, my God, dude. I have a confession to make. I have never waxed a motorcycle, not once. If you waxed your motorcycle once, you're probably a little bitch, man. I ain't gonna lie. The RSV4 just made me love motorcycles again, man. It made me love riding again. I've been out here riding almost every single day, and I haven't seen one RSV4. I don't even see them when I'm driving my car. I don't see them at the dealerships that I've visited, and I definitely haven't seen another one in a while at a Two Wheel Tuesday. But I also haven't been to a Two Wheel Tuesday in a while too, so. The only other dude that I know that has an RSV4 is my buddy Carl, and he doesn't even ride anymore. I think he still owns the bike. I've been trying to buy that bike off of him for a while. Carl, sell me your damn bike, bro. The RSV4 is also like a Lego, to be honest. There's a guy online, he goes by Turbo James. He went up against like a Supra. I think it was on like Hoonigan's channel or Hooligan, I don't freaking know. Anyway, there was a part in there where they asked him about his bike, and he said, well, it's pretty much I started with a frame and then I put everything else together. I think he said it was like a 2015 frame with like a 17 motor, ECU, that kind of stuff. And I was like, huh, that makes a lot of sense. It's been the same bike since 2009. What's to stop somebody from picking up a 2009 frame and putting an 1100 motor in it? It looks like everything just clicks together like a box of Legos. I bet I could even put like 2021 parts on this bike. Like if I wanted the LEDs or the new tank that it has, I bet I could do that. I don't know. I also think the S1000RR owners are the type that like pull up near businesses' windows and look at themselves in the reflection. Holy shit. Or the guys are like, hey bro, can you take my phone and get a roller of me for Instagram? I just want a roller. I'm not hating, man. Everybody's got like their own thing, right? Everybody's got their own style. It's just that question for me. It's like, when did we become such babies, bro? When did motorcyclists become such babies? Another thing that I stopped doing was I stopped naming my motorcycles. I only named one motorcycle on this channel, and that was the R1M. I called her Marilyn. I had a Marilyn Monroe sticker on the front. It was cool. I vinyl wrapped it. It was dope. It was a great bike. Do you guys name your motorcycles? Like, I haven't named a motorcycle in a long time, man. I think Fastlane D names his bikes like Constellations or something, like the Big Dipper. So I don't freaking know. Well, let me know if you guys name your motorcycles. I bet you guys got some funny ass names. But honestly, it's good to be back, man. It's good to be loving motorcycles again. I've never ridden so much in the wintertime. This is like the first year that I rode so much. Obviously because I need to get content uploaded, but I think right now I'm just enjoying what it is. A lot of you guys seem to share the same opinions that I do. I'm really not that opinionated, to be honest. I make videos on my opinions, but to be honest with you, I still live by the mantra of ride your own damn ride. I honestly don't care what you guys clean your chains with. I never suggest that you do what I do. I'm just showing you what I do. I would never tell you to do something that I wouldn't do. Some of you guys may think the BMW S1000RR is the most amazing freaking thing ever, and that's cool, man. What really matters is that you continue to enjoy whatever it is that you do. If you like violins, that might be your thing. Go do that. If you like motorcycles like me, do that. I honestly don't see myself stopping motorcycles anytime soon. If anything, I'll probably just take it to the track eventually and be a track day only bro, and I'll ride my grandma and my Suron around town. That was such a weird time in my motorcycle riding career. Like, I just didn't ride. It wasn't fun. I never looked at the BMW the way I look at this bike or the rest of the other bikes that I've owned. I shouldn't have bought that bike to make content on. That was really dumb. I got a lot of crap for this one. Sometimes I'll leave my helmet on the ground, just like that. For me, I'd rather it be on the ground than me dropping it from my motorcycle. I've seen a lot of lids fall off of motorcycles, and that's why I just leave it on the ground most of the time. Anyway, that's my story. Give the algorithm some love. Hit that comment, like, and subscribe button. Always remember, ride your ride. Don't about what other people think about you. Just enjoy your life, man. We only get one life. Don't live yours by other people's standards. Because I did it once and it almost made me quit the thing I love doing the most. Talking shit to all you haters.